hover the leader over the line, and going away from you first, going towards the rod, you just go around the line one time, and pull it straight. Then we do the same thing going towards us. Pull it straight. Another towards the rod, straight, and back towards us, straight. So that was a total of 4 times. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to do a total of 20 times. I usually use 20 to 22 wraps to make this knot the strongest. So we'll go ahead and just do those right now. And every time too, you always want to make sure that you pull the leader line straight. That way that these loops, these coils, form right on top of each other. So let's go ahead and do 5 through 20. All right, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so there's 20. As you can see, these coils are all right there bound on top of one another. So now we need to lock that in place. Make sure you're able to see that. So we have the tag end going down, we have the line going out to the rod, as well as the tag end of the fluorocarbon going up to the left. So we just need to do a simple hitch knot. So again, we just do a loop, go through that loop with this tag end of the braid, and then we'll go ahead and pull it tight. You can see we'll just pull it all the way tight and then get all the way down to that knot. There we are. So now we have our loops all cinched there together. At this point, we'll go ahead and grab the 2 main lines and just pull the entire thing tight. Just go ahead and pull it there tight. So now we can clip the flea can without nicking the braid. Barely, the tag end will barely, if you do reel through the rods, this tag end could possibly catch on the rod tips, just barely though. So you don't have to do this, but what I typically do is I do 2 more hitch knots just to make sure that there's no, I guess there's nothing at the end that can catch onto the rod. So I just do again a hitch knot there, another hitch knot, and that is it. So now we can clip the end of it. There we are. So now we have, again, the strongest and thinnest knot possible for going to braid to fluorocarbon leader. So
now what I'm going to do is then drape my braid across the leader going away from me on the far side. So now I have my tag end over here, my main line at me. If you look straight down the leader, you can see you have a natural parabolic of the line moving here. What you're going to be doing is wrapping the tag and the main line in a series of wraps going up the leader to the end of the tippet. This is my main going to the rod. We're going to set that off over there. So what I'm going to do is start off with is grab my tag end and wrap under, at me, over, away. 1 wrap. Keep it kind of tight and close to your fingers if you can. Then I'm going to take my main line and reverse wrap under, away, over, at me. And now I'm going to repeat that process for a total of 6 times for each of the 2 lines here. So that was 1 and 1. So now we have 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what happens then is you get this big clustery mess of a knot. Basically what you're going to do is bite down on the end of the leader while grabbing both of the main lines here and sliding them back and forth to where they kind of tighten up. See how that's kind of tightening up? I'm not going to bite it because I got a face for radio. So we'll say that's at the mark where it's at right now, nice and tight. You can see how that gets kind of snug if my crappy camera can kind of show you. Anyway, so I did 6 wraps, and what I did is I started obviously with my tag end and ended with my main line. So now I'm going to put another series of 6 wraps, making sure nothing's tangled up, everything's straightened out, starting with my tag end once again and doing 6 more wraps. So there's 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4, oops, even I'm messed up, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 6, and voila. Now, this is when I'm connecting, 30 to 30, if I start going up to the 130 pound class or more with a smaller braid, I tend to go up with another series of 6. But I'm going to stop with this series here of the first 6 I tied, which are pinched in my finger, and the second 6, which are actually wrapped up here. So now I'm going to start kind of snugging these down slowly and surely. Normally I'll bite down into this to hold it in place to get a good grip, but let's see if I can do it. Yes, lovely. So as I bring it back and forth, you see how it kind of jams down on itself? And once it does, I'll pinch it, and voila. Now that I got it, the whole knot pinched in my hand, if you can kind of see it there, it's not real clear on my little Kodak camera. I broke my other one. What I'm going to do now is take my main line and lay it across the tag end to where it just kind of drapes across the tag end of my leader. Then take the tag end of my braid and do a half hitch over both lines and back underneath, where usually you have to involve a teeth or a third hand. So I'm going to bite onto this piece to snug it down. And as you see, as I'm snugging it down, I'll jam that back into the knot. Now I can release the knot because the knot's locked. But what I'm going to do as a secondary measure is take a second half hitch, but you always want to reverse your half hitches and braids. So I'm going to come underneath this time and do another half hitch, and on this one I can just use my fingers, pull it up nice and taut, bring that back to the knot, securing it in place. Now, what I'm done tying. What makes this knot so unique is what I'm going to do is basically put the death grip on the knot and wrap it around my fingers. And if you know me, I got giant big baloney fingers, and at the same time I'll kind of pull back on my tag end. So now what I'm going to do is actually literally just pull both my main lines, and what ends up happening is it works almost in sequence to like a Chinese finger cuff. So the braided line has now, through the series of crisscrosses, dug in to the leader line. So it's great with mono, great with fluorocarbon, great with any kind of braided application. I now go to cut my tag ends. I'm going to cut my braided tag first, get as close